you're just kind of like trucking along and everything's fine, and the next thing you know, well, it's the end of the month. Well, that's me. So with the end of the month comes along, and no, we're just gonna scrap that and kind of move on. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. For those of you who are new here, how are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. It's been really busy, honestly, the last couple of days. Well, really the last couple of months. I don't really know if that happens to you. We're kind of just trucking along and everything's fine, and the next thing you know, the end of the month comes by. So that is what's going on for me, which means we're getting closer to August and September, which means back to school. And so I've decided to do another how to bullet journal as a student, or how to create spreads for student bullet journalers. And you seem to really enjoy the series that I've started, so there is another video here for you. I'm just gonna hop right on in, but make sure to stay tuned to the very end where I shout out one of you guys. Another month has gone by, which means it is another month closer to going back to school. So if you are trying to figure out how to plan out your bullet journal as a student, hopefully this video has you covered. I also have a lot of other ones, so I will link them in the description box down below for you guys. But I started off this spread with the black paper from Archer and Olive. I really liked this one because it has those dots already printed out on the paper, so it makes things just a little bit nicer for spacing. I ended up going in with my Jelly Roll pen, and it looked like a chalkboard, which I thought was really cool, so I ended up adding in the details of an eraser brush and some chalk. I also had a printed off picture of anatomy because that is the class that I am going through, so that nervous system, muscular, and skeletal system. On the right hand side of the page, I ended up drawing in a tracker for the semester 1 at a glance for this specific class. I really like having all of my information for classes on 1 to 2 spreads. It makes it really easy to glance at what I need to know, what's going on for my class. So if you are setting up a bullet journal as a beginner, 10 out of 10 would recommend something like this. I know I'm using a ruler, I generally don't, but I thought that this would save me a lot more time if I pulled it out, and the lines, I have to say, do look a little straighter than my usual ones. Here I just put in information like my professor's name, location of the class, the time. I like to personally track things like attendance because in university we would be marked on things like participation, so just having a record of that is good. And then I like to track my grades as well. Does anybody else go through all of their classes and say, oh, this is what I have, this is what I need in my final exam to get the mark that I want? I don't know if that is just me, but when I am tracking things like that, it is nice to have all of my grades on one page. Moving on just to the next page here, I have a class at a glance as well, just for a monthly. So if you don't like having things like a yearly glance for classes, which I've done in student tracker videos in the past, this could be something more up your alley, more up your speed. So on the side here, I wrote anatomy out, and I'm adding in a drop shadow with my hard tip Tombow Fudenosuke. It'll make more sense just further on in the video why I have it laid out on the side, because I do something like a Dutch door style later on. So you'll be able to see that word anatomy when you flip things over. The lettering style that I ended up going with for anatomy was just a bubble or a block style letter, just to make it stand out on the side here. I went in again with that black paper to create that chalkboard effect, and I'm showing you specifically just for the month of September, but again, you can always adapt all of these different student bullet journal trackers to fit your needs. I liked having a little calendar just up at the top, so that's something that I included in my bullet journal. Underneath the calendar here, I ended up having things like chapters, assignments, labs, categories, so I could put all of that information that I need to accomplish for the month of September. If you don't have a lab, don't include it in your bullet journal. You want to adjust all of these spreads to fit your needs. All of these are super easy ideas for your journal, so you're going to be able to adapt them really quickly. And if you have things like group projects or other assignments, things that you want to track, you can also put that on this page. Just on the right hand side, I showed you a different assignment tracker idea for students in comparison to the video that I did last time. I like doing this calligraphy style. I think it is really easy for me personally, and it is a go-to classic. So way to track my assignments this time around, I've done a bone on the side that you can color in when you've completed certain tasks. I thought it was really cute because it is an anatomy theme. Of course, you don't have to include a bone in all of your assignment tracker spread, but I've left little spaces for different categories, those 4 boxes, and went in with just a Tombow Brush Pen to highlight the top where I would put in what I wanted to get done for that section. So here is where I come in with a different bullet journal student tracker. And it is if you have any terms or definitions that you need to learn for that month or for a specific unit for that class. For anatomy here, I just ended up writing things on the side like anterior, posterior, and then on the actual flipped part of the page, you write the definition. So when you have the page open, the way that I do right now, you can see both the definition and the word. But when you flip it just a little bit, you actually can't see that definition, so it'll really help you with those words on the side for studying purposes. I know that I like to use cue cards as well, but this is something you can have in your journal. A must, a go-to 100% must when you are doing student bullet journals is having a spread that you can create in under 10 minutes. During busy times like midterms, exams, or even when you're just lacking a little bit of motivation, I know that that was me during some stressful times of school. I didn't gravitate towards using my bullet journal if it was going to take me too long. So I came up with all of these spreads that you can do in less than 10 minutes, and I'll have that video linked in the description box down below, as well as up in the cards for you guys if you want to take a peek at that. On the side, I just ended up doing this like corkboard style on the background and put over top like sticky notes with a cute little quote saying slow and steady, along with highlighting things like school events or my focus for the week as well. How I plan out my student weekly spreads in my bullet journal, I want to make sure that I have the most amount of space. So in the middle section here, I am giving a ton of room to write down all of the daily tasks that I would like to get done. And then on the right hand side, on the very far side, I end up writing a master task list on things that I might want to get done in that week but doesn't actually have a specific day. What you like to track or what spreads you like to use in your student bullet journal could change week to week. And I have a couple of go-to weekly spreads for students that I can create another video for you guys if you are interested. Let me know in the comments down below. But I really love how this one turned out. I honestly think this is my favorite. Well, actually all of them are kind of my favorite, but here is a quick flip through of just what we did today, and hopefully it helps you set up your student bullet journal. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Today's shout out goes to Dandelion. Thank you so much for subscribing and leaving a lovely comment down below. If you too would like to be featured in next week's video, make sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. It really does help support my channel to grow. And if you want to see anything, let me know down there as well. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!